Tax Talk Live poolside pointers up till now, you're in luck. Today, I'm going to cover in a highlight fashion all that we've talked about all during the week. But if you have time, I certainly encourage you to go back and watch each of them, especially on some of the specific pointed tax matters. But in any case, what we talked about this week, as tax tips to help get ready for tax year, is that this year is a year unlike many others. There's certainly a higher risk of refund shock. And refund shock is simply when you don't get the refund as big as you think or as big as last year, or in worst case, you owe the IRS. And there are many reasons, which we also covered during the week, why refund shock can occur. There are a lot of lesser deductions and lesser credits this year than last year. A lot of them got pulled back to pre-pandemic amounts. Child credit went down, earned income credit went down, and others went down. So a lot of things changed that can have an adverse effect on your tax return if you're just thinking it's going to be like last year. It's not. We also covered there's a lot of things that you can do to help mitigate refund shock and get ready. One of the easiest is do a mid-year tax estimate. Take your 630 information. We talked a little bit about how to calculate what you might have in the way of a full year tax return using your mid-year information and see where you came out. And then we said, if you're going to come up short or your refund's not as big, you have some opportunities to increase withholding, make bigger estimated tax payments, or on the alternative, if your refund's much bigger than you thought because good things are happening on it, maybe you reduce your amount of withholding and get more money in each week's paycheck. In any case, there are things you can do given the point in time where we are. There's also some things to watch out for. There are new rules, not just the pullback on the credits or charitable donations. There's a new reporting requirement. If you get money on a side hustle or side gig or self-employed, and you get paid through electronic platforms like Venmo or Zelle or Apple Pay, and you get more than $600, there's a new rule that requires those platforms to not only tell you how much money you were paid, which you probably were already tracking, but they also tell the IRS. And so you'll need to reconcile that on your tax return. We also covered the fact that even though you get a new 1099K or any income from self-employment or side gigs, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the totality that you owe income tax on. There are a variety of deductions that you can use to offset that income, using your vehicle for delivery of product or services or rideshare, home office deduction. We covered that, and a host of other expenses that you can use to keep track of and to deduct at tax time. We also talked about ways to do that, and it ranged from the simple shoebox or a big envelope to the more elaborate taking pictures with your cell phone and storing those in an electronic file cabinet, like one at Jackson Hewitt under MyJH. There are mileage trackers, there are expense trackers. There are a lot of technology platforms that can help you keep track of all your expenses, and that's very wise, especially if you have those items. So in summary, we covered a lot of the items that can create refund shock, a lot of the new rules that changed, some of the new rules that are going to report to the IRS what you earned, some of the deductions that you can take, and other life changes that can help, create a more complicated tax return, but also some opportunities to pay less taxes. As we've said, taxes are your single largest financial transaction each and every year. Sure, you may buy a house or get married or divorced, but your tax return is going to be there forever. So it's important to pay attention this year in particular, but mostly every year with some good best practices. A bit more attention on the front end can mean less stress at tax time and perhaps even a bigger tax refund. So we hope you enjoyed our poolside pointers, another word for tax tips. We hope you learned some new information. We hope you have a better idea of what to expect this year, and perhaps are going to consider some actions to help get a bigger tax refund. But from all of us at Jackson Hewitt, if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us, come to an office, look for us on our website at jacksonhewitt.com, and get the best tax refund that you possibly can get, and use the best tax pro that you can possibly use, a Jackson Hewitt trusted tax pro. From all of us at Jackson Hewitt and our Tax Talk Live series and our poolside pointers, we've enjoyed having you today, and we look forward to seeing you soon, and especially at tax time.